Hi, it's Bob Hoopsher, and this is the Gaining Perspective podcast, where we bring you insightful conversations with some of the top thought leaders in the investment advisor profession and investment management industry. I am the founder of Advisor Perspectives. As an advisor growth solution, SmartAdvisor continuously focuses on helping advisors grow their practices. Last month, in April of 2023, it acquired DeftSales, a leading prospect engagement company for financial professionals. DeftSales and SmartAssets will combine to offer a robust user interface that is fully compliant, including automated campaigns and analytics, which allow advisors to spend more time honing their communications and improving their skills. My guest today is Michael Carvin. He is the founder and CEO of SmartAsset, an online destination for consumer-focused financial information and advice that powers SmartAdvisor, a national marketplace connecting consumers to advisors. So, Michael, tell me a little bit more about your career path and what led you to found SmartAsset. What was the problem or the opportunity that you saw that was not being served?
Yeah, and thanks so much for having me. So my career started in finance and private equity. Worked in making growth equity investments for about 7 years, and would probably still be doing that had I not gone to buy a home in, gosh, it was 2011, 2012. And it was in the process of buying my first home and going online to get answers to simple financial questions. What kind of mortgage should I get? What's going to happen to my taxes? This is after the financial crisis. Does buying a home make any sense in the first place? And I was really, really disappointed with the experience that I had, with the tools that I was using, with the content that I was reading. And I saw an opportunity to build a dramatically better experience in personal finance. And the idea for Smart Assets slowly grew out of that experience. And I think that on day one, three core concepts. One, I felt strongly that we could do a dramatically better job bringing better personal finance tools, content, calculators directly to consumers to bring transparency to decision making, not just in home ownership, but across a range of financial topics, whether that's retirement or taxes or insurance. I saw a tremendous opportunity to provide a better consumer experience in personal finance. Two, I believed really strongly that if we brought a better consumer experience to people, that we'd be able to build a very big audience. And that, three, if we were successful building a great personal finance platform and an enormous audience around that, and last month we reached about 70 million consumers just in the US. Three, I felt very confident that we could build a very big business on top of that personal finance platform. And fortunately, that's what's happened over the last decade.
Well, I do have to commend you on your content. We are privileged to be able to syndicate some of the writing that you do and put it up on our site. So we're going to talk about your acquisition of DeftSales in a minute, but first, give me some background on Smart Asset for our advisor listeners who may not be familiar with it. How does Smart Asset help the typical advisor grow their practice? How many advisors use your platform? And how big is your company now in terms of employees?
Well, I'll start with the last question. We're just under 300 people. As I said, Smart Asset grew out of my personal experience trying to buy a home and our mission of helping consumers make better financial decisions. And so we get in front of consumers in the context of helping them make these big decisions. Again, whether that's content they're reading around how to buy a home or how to think about retirement, or tools that they're using to help them calculate what their taxes are going to be, or how to save or how to budget. It's a really comprehensive platform that provides a lot of different tools, content, calculators to help consumers make these decisions. And the entire idea for SmartAdvisor, which is our marketplace connecting consumers to financial advisors, grew out of what consumers were asking us. We were 5 years into the Smart Asset journey, and we had consumers coming to us and saying, "We love the tools, we love the content, we love the calculators, but I need a human financial advisor to help me take the next step." And so we built the Smart Advisor marketplace designed to identify the consumers within our platform, within our audience, that are looking for professional financial advice, and then to match them directly to advisors that are looking to grow their business. And those might be advisors that are looking to grow their business on a neighborhood by neighborhood level, or advisors that are looking to grow their business, nationwide. And so, over the last 5-6 years, we've built this incredibly powerful marketplace designed to play matchmaker between the consumers that are looking for personal financial advice on our platform and advisors that are looking to grow their business.
So tell me about DeftSales. What was the opportunity you saw there? How is that going to fit into your overall offering?
So what SmartAdvisor does again is we match consumers to financial advisors, right? Our goal is to help advisors build their business, grow AUM by helping them find their next client. What Deft does is it makes that process really easy. Deft takes care of the calling, the texting, the emailing, all of the outreach that an advisor does. That takes frankly a lot of time, right? If we send you 10 referrals this month, you're probably gonna have 100 plus touch points with that consumer between email, calls, and texting. It takes a lot of time, and what Deft does is it automates that for the advisor, right? We use technology to automate that for the advisor. The advisor can set up their campaign so that they can have fully personalized emails that go out on the cadence that they choose. We call the consumer on behalf of the advisor to take that work out off the advisor's hands. We text the advisor if the advisor wants to opt into texting, and it's all done in a fully compliant way. And so, the Deft effectively makes it much easier for an advisor to be successful on our platform. So it was really a no-brainer for us, especially when you get to meet the Deft guys. They're just great people, and advisors love their product. So it was a really great fit.
Talk about how you're nurturing relationships now between clients and their advisors, and how that benefits the advisor.
Yeah, and this is really critical to how we think about things, because we're a technology company, and it's really easy when you're a technology company to see a lot of ones and zeros and the digitization of so much in our practice, and sometimes it can be easy to lose sight of the fact that we're connecting one human to another human, and this is a really important relationship that these people are going to build. The average client is a client of an advisor for more than 10 years, and so we really work hard to humanize the experience, and that means our concierge team. We have a team of people that are dedicated to help facilitating the match between the consumer and the advisor. Our Live Connections product is a product where the consumer it's exactly what it sounds like, is on the phone with our concierge team. A lot of times the consumer wants to speak to the advisor in real time. And our technology allows us to put the consumer on the phone with the advisor in real time and make that a warm introduction. That's called our Live Connections product, and it's going to be significantly enhanced by the Deft platform, because they also are able to do a lot of calling. And again, what we try and do is follow up with the consumer, and help facilitate that relationship building, and the journey from a prospect turning into a client.
Let's pause for a couple of minutes for a word from our sponsor. I know that you already enjoy our content from Advisor Perspectives every day, so why not use our award-winning articles, commentaries, and charts to streamline your communications with clients and prospects. My team and I introduced AP Premium last summer, and we've been blown away by the response from the advisor community. Keep listening for an exclusive code to get $10 off our premium service. You won't find the in-depth, sophisticated market analysis and charts like Advisor Perspectives anywhere else. This information can be invaluable to help your clients understand complex topics. Let's say a client asks a question about their estate plan. Instead of spending time researching and drafting a long-winded response, quickly grab any number of related articles from our library and share it in a personalized way. AP Premium gives you the power to add your logo and a personalized message to any piece of content and share it directly with your clients and prospects. We also introduced a premium offering called the Ask an Expert webinar series. At our inaugural session, we were joined by Wade Pfau for an intimate Q&A. Advisors have told me this is one of their favorite perks of being a premium member, and we can't wait to share who's slated to join us next. Give Premium a try and see for yourself why it pays to be a premium member. As always, we appreciate your support of our efforts to bring excellence to financial journalism. And as a thank you, I'm offering a one-time $10 discount for new premium members to be taken off your first monthly or annual payment. Just go to advisorperspectives.com/member. That's advisorperspectives.com/member, and use the code podcast 2022. That's podcast 2022, all caps, at checkout. And now back to our podcast. So you're about a month into this deal. How has the integration gone? How has the DeftSales platform been received?
The reception's been tremendous. I should say that we were a month into the deal, but we're 7 months into our relationship with Deft. We had a pilot ahead of the 6-month pilot ahead of the acquisition, and our biggest problem right now is we need more people to onboard the number of advisors that want to work with Deft. Deft has traditionally been $300 per month for advisors that want to use Deft to help them turn their prospects into clients. We've made it free, and so free through May 31st. A tsunami of advisors trying to get onto the platform, and we don't have enough people to onboard them all.
So talk about the integration with an advisor's CRM system. How does DeftSales and how does SmartAsset fit in there?
Yeah, another key attribute of the Deft product, it seamlessly integrates with Redtail, with Salesforce, with other CRMs. Total onboarding with Deft is about a 30-minute session, and they can do the CRM integration in that session, as well as do the other things that are necessary to get you set up with calling, emailing, and texting, and get your campaigns approved, and you're ready to go.
Stepping back, Michael, what other interesting trends are you seeing in the advisor space?
The most interesting trend that has turned out to be pretty sticky is related to COVID. In March of 2020, when people started working from home and living their lives a lot more virtually than they had been in the past, we saw a really significant change. Prior to COVID, there was a really strong consumer demand for a local advisor. One of the questions we ask consumer when they come through our platform is, do you want a local advisor, or are you open to working with your advisor remotely? Prior to COVID, 2 in 3 consumers wanted a local advisor. In the months after COVID, so by the time we got to April, May, it had reversed. 2 in 3 were comfortable working remotely, and that has stayed sticky. So today on our platform, it's still between 65 and 70% of consumers are open to a virtual relationship with their advisor, and I think that's a tremendously important trend because it's turning the wealth management product from a local product to a product that can be served nationwide. And I think one of the reasons that wealth management has been so fragmented is that it's been hard to build a nationwide business, because to build a nationwide business pre-COVID, you needed a lot of local, you needed an Edward Jones-like strategy with 15,000 local offices. And now I think that dynamic has really changed, and I think it's much easier to scale a wealth management business because you don't need to have the local presence to win the local consumer.
We've written about that trend quite a bit in our publication, and I completely agree with you. It's really transformed the way advisors need to market their services to be a lot less geographically focused. How can advisors make the most out of their partnership with SmartAsset?
The best way to be successful on SmartAsset, one, integrate with Deft, because they'll take a lot of the work out of it for you. And then 2 is just to work hard at connecting with the consumer, and then providing the consumer with a good initial experience. What we see work a lot are advisors that provide the financial plan as a part of the onboarding experience. That really increases close rates, and then they just have really good process. They have good repeatable process for how to have that initial conversation with the consumer. Good repeatable process for how they think about building, the plan and the proposal for the consumer. And honestly, they really work at it. And if you work at it, your returns on SmartAdvisor can be really pretty significant. So, the quick math is we charge roughly $250 to be connected with a consumer that has $1 million of investable assets. If your close rate is around 4%, so if you're closing 1 in 25 of those, you've got roughly a $5,000 cost of acquisition, right? It's cost you $5,000 to generate $1 million of investable assets. That $1 million of investable assets, if you're charging 1%, is going to generate $10,000 of revenue, right? So your payback on your investment with us, you're going to make 2x your money in year one, right? If you have a 2% conversion rate, which I would consider to be low, you'd return all of your money in year one. 100% return if you've got a 2% conversion rate. If you've got a 4% conversion rate, it's 200% return. So, I think that's the reason why virtually all private equity-backed advisors, or firms, I should say, are on SmartAsset. Just it's the most efficient way you can grow your business.
What does the rest of 2023 and even beyond look like for SmartAsset?
Continuing to grow our business. We're the market leader in an enormous space. So we're continuing to invest in growth on the consumer side. Consumers find us in two different ways. They come to smartasset.com. That's around 15 million people per month. We also power a lot of the financial calculators and some of the content for large publishers like MarketWatch, Barron's, Investopedia, Business Insider, CNN Money, publishers like that, 130 in total, and that's how we get in front of another 50 million or so uniques on a monthly basis. And so we're working hard to build out the consumer side of our marketplace. At the same time, we're working really hard to improve the advisor experience. The acquisition of Deft was a big step in that direction for us, but we're going to be rolling out a lot more tools designed to make it easier for the advisor to be successful on within SmartAdvisor. And then beyond that, we're paying a lot of attention to the new LLM technology, ChatGPT, and different ways that we might be able to build that and AI in general into our offering. Again, to make better matches between the consumer and the advisor, and to make the advisor experience as good as we can.
As you mentioned earlier, you're running a large company, 300 team members. You've raised over $100 million in capital. You're valued at over $1 billion. Looking out over the longer term, as the CEO, what are the key challenges and opportunities that you face?
Growing a business quickly is always challenging. The way I think about things from the operator perspective is that every time the company doubles in size, we need 4 times as much infrastructure to support that, right? Things that you might have been able to do, word of mouth previously, now needs structure and process and controls. Especially as we are a fully remote business, you need a lot of structure to make that all work. On the challenges side, I think just the challenges of growth is the key one for us. A lot of people compare us to Zillow. Zillow takes a massive audience of people looking at real estate listings and turns that into high quality referrals of potential home buyers to real estate agents. We take a massive audience of people looking at personal finance content and tools and turn that into high quality referrals for advisors looking to grow their business. But unlike Zillow, our marketplace, our market is not super competitive. We don't have a Redfin or a Trulia, which Zillow acquired, or a Realtor.com or a Move.com. And we're actually also in a market that is much bigger than Zillow's. Zillow serves real estate agent commissions, which last year were around $90 billion. Financial advisor fees last year were around $250 billion. So when I think about the opportunity in front of us and where we should focus our effort, I think about how big would Zillow be if they were in a market that was 2.5 times the size and you took away all of that competition. And what that says to me is you need to be really focused on capturing the opportunity within our space, growing the business within wealth management, and being really focused again on just building a better advisor experience and serving a great consumer experience as well.
If there's one key takeaway that you'd like to leave with our audience of advisors about the most cost-efficient way that they can grow their prospect pipelines, what would that be?
There's no secret sauce. It's just work, having good process, and being able to provide a good experience to the prospect. And if you do that, you'll have good conversion rates and be able to grow AUM with us.
We'll include a link in the notes that accompany this podcast where you can learn more about Smart Asset. There'll be a link to the Smart Asset website. Michael, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, and thank you for listening to the Gaining Perspective podcast with Bob Hoopsher. Today featuring Michael Carvin of SmartAsset. To support our podcast, please share, subscribe, or leave a review to help make our podcast more findable for your friends and colleagues. You can subscribe to Gaining Perspective on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher.